Hello there. Today we are going to be making this beautiful mixed peppers meatball stew. It is a very good one to make for your picky eater and children that don't like vegetables. You can make this for them easily so that they can get that added nutrition that they are always running away from. So without wasting much time, I'm going to start with my minced meat. I'm using minced meat or ground beef as some people call it. So I'm going to be seasoning it. As you can see, I'm using my seasonings, which I'm going to be listing on the screen for you. You can use any seasoning that you have at hand at home. It all depends on what you like, your preference. And then I have my breadcrumbs here. This is my homemade breadcrumbs, and I'm going to put a link up there and in the description box on how to make your breadcrumbs at home if you haven't got breadcrumbs from the shop, or you can also use fresh bread. I have a recipe where I used fresh bread to make meatballs too. And then I'm going to add the eggs and then gently mix everything all together. So what I'm doing is to mix it up gently without crunching and mixing it too hard, because that will make the meatballs turn out a bit hard, and we don't want the kids to have a hard meatball. So that's why I'm mixing it gently, just to make sure that the ingredients are come together. And once that is done, I'm going to roll my meatballs ready to be put into the oven. So that's my meatball all ready, and I'm going to put it in the oven to cook. And the next thing I'm going to do after that is to cut my vegetables. That's my peppers, as I said. So I'm using a mix of different peppers. I'm using the green, yellow, and the red bell peppers. So I'm just going to deseed them. And once that is done, I'm going to also peel my garlic and also my onions, and then I'm going to wash everything all up. So once the vegetables are washed, I'm going to cut them into pieces. Just cut them into large chunky bits, as you can see me doing. Also cut the onions too, and I'm using celery stick here as a vegetable, which I like. You can add that to your list of vegetables. And also with this stew, you can also add some carrots. You can add some any other vegetable that you think your child will run away from. Now I'm going to fry my vegetables. So I'm going to start by putting oil in a pot, and then I'm going to add my onions and celery to fry a bit or to saute a bit, and then I'm going to add the peppers. I'm stirring everything together, and once that is done, I'm going to add all my spices. Every spice I'm using is going to go into the pot now to start infusing into my vegetables and just get on with the cooking. As usual, you can use the spice that you have at home, make it your own, make it however, put the spices that you have available. You don't need to put everything that I've put in here, okay? So stir everything all together. Cover the pot and then allow the steam to cook the vegetables for about a minute or two. So that's the peppers cooking here. You can see that it's not so cooked. It is not soft. It's still looking crunchy. and that's how I want it, because I want it to retain all the nutrients. And the next thing I'm going to do is to add my chopped tomatoes. I'm using a tinned chopped tomatoes today. I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to add my tomato puree just to give it some reddish, help to give it the reddish color and also give it some bulk. And then I added my baking soda as usual. If you want to know why I add baking soda, you can watch my videos. I'll put a link in the description box of why I use baking soda on my stew, and that's something that maybe you can incorporate too. And yeah, that's my stew all coming together now. Everything is there, and just check for taste. I use my fingers to check for taste. That's the local girl that I am. So that's my stew. You can see it boiling, and once it boils, I'm going to take it off heat, and then I'm going to blend everything together with my stick blender. If you haven't got a stick blender, you can use your normal blender. That means you're going to pour the stew into the blender and then start blending. But with this stick blender, it is very easy. I love it because I don't need to wash up anything apart from that. I'm just blending inside the pot that I'm using to cook, and then after that I'm just going to wash this small tiny thing here. It makes life very easy, you know. So that's it. And then once I've done that, I'm going to put it back on heat, and then I'm going to add my meatballs, which are already cooked, into it. So that's the meatball all in. Stir, check for taste, and then cover it and allow it to just simmer for some few minutes. As always, I don't cook it for long to retain my nutrients and get the best out of everything. You can see our stew is all ready. It's simmering, it's ready. It's good for spaghetti, it's good for rice, for yam, for couscous, for anything that you can give your child. It's a very perfect meatball stew for their lunch, and also for their school lunch, for dinner, and also for the whole family. Now I'm adding my basil leaves. I love the taste of basil leaves. It gives it a very nice flavor, not taste. So it's the flavor, it gives it a good flavor. If you haven't got basil leaves, then you can use our local scent leaf from charm or a ephedrine. You can also use parsley if you want. And that's it. Once that is done, I'm just going to take it down, and our stew is ready. So if you're still watching and you are still up to here, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your feedback on this. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.